Hey, what's up, everyone? BDF44 here, coming at you with another video. So, I just watched some individual highlights on three interesting prospects coming into the NBA this year: Jalen Green, LiAngelo Ball, and Scotty Barnes. I saw their individual highlights, not necessarily highlights of the whole game. Just watch what they did for the game that they played in the summer league today, and it was very, very, very encouraging stuff that I saw from those youngsters. Granted, it's summer league. I've seen guys pop all the way in the summer league. Some of the best summer league basketball players have turned out to just have average careers, and if not, or turn into do even less sometimes. So that means very little, other than to say you can get a sample size of what these individuals can do. Um, that's really all I say is from that. I remember guys like Kyle Kuzma going completely off in the summer league. Josh Hart was like an all-star in the summer league. So guys just kind of give you an opportunity to see what it is their skill set can provide when going up against talent that isn't overly imposing a lot of the time. So that's what we saw in these particular highlights today. First guy I want to talk about is LiAngelo, because I've talked a lot about him over the last several years just because I'm such a big fan of what it is their family's about and the players that their family has given us. I'm a big Melo and Zoe fan, so I want to see Jello get an opportunity to prove himself and show that he's been someone who's always been able to score the basketball, not just a guy who watched his brothers play ball and excel in the game, but someone who also excelled himself and just wasn't given the same type of opportunities because of his skill set level, his set of skills versus theirs. But it wasn't just that; it was also the fact that he wasn't in shape as in comparison to his brothers. They were always slender guys, run like the wind constantly. He looked like a guy who more so was built for the football field, a guy who more so probably liked eating food that he probably didn't have no business eating. And his body didn't react to it in a way that allowed him to be as fast and as quick as his brothers were. Um, so that was my thing with Jello. It's like, brother, you running around trying to show people you're an NBA caliber player, but you're not in NBA caliber shape. And I don't care what type of athlete you are, if you don't have the muscles to represent what it is that you're trying to accomplish, your body's gonna be working against you out there. That's what I know. Growing up a child that was out of shape, so it's one of those situations where at this point it's like now that he's in shape, has been taking care of himself for the last couple of years, have shook off all that baby fat and all that unnecessary weight and put on some real muscle. Um, the ability to shoot the ball and score the ball gets to shine. It was always there. Even in high school, he was putting up ridiculous amounts of numbers. He was carrying their team offensively. And as I always say, if Melo and Zoe grew up passing the rock and they've grown up to be such fantastic passers, who do you think they were passing to as they were developing as kids? Who do you think was the recipient of the passes that they were dishing out that turned them into the type of passers that we know of them to be today? It was their brother, Jello, who was receiving those passes. He was the guy catching and shooting. He never developed his point guard and shooting guard skills because he was the one shooting the ball. And so he needed to get in shape because he wasn't as complete a player as them. So it was most important that he get a chance to run, because what he does best is run, get your butt to the corner and shoot the ball. That's what he was. He was one of those guys. So it's like, if you're not going to be in shape, brother, you don't get the ability to cross people over and pass the rock and do all these different things because you weren't raised to be that. You were raised to be somebody who just shoots the ball. So get in Reggie Miller type shape, get in Rip Hamilton's type shape, because that's what players like that who excel in what you do, that's what they're about. They run, bounce off screens. They do different things than your brothers do. You feel me? So when I understood what his skill set was, then I looked at his body type. I'm like, well, brother, you just not in shape. You can't trot out there chubby and think you're gonna be looked at by NBA scouts. I don't care how quickly you can put up a bunch of buckets, because you're gonna be such a defensive liability. You're gonna be a liability in other areas, and your skills because you didn't grow up with the ball in your hands, are going to represent somebody who just really can't do a whole lot but shoot. But if you get in the type of shape you can get into, you can show us why your timing is just as good as your brother's, and that you're an excellent catch and shoot player, and that you can have ability to do great things. I don't think you grow up being raised in the same system, in the same household, as two gifted basketball players like Zoe and Melo. Practice with them as much as they practice. You are part of their routine. It's a trio. Y'all go out on the same reps every day, your whole lives. And then you suck and those two are good. That don't make no sense. That's not how this works. That's not how life works. You're good too. You just need to be able to show what it is you're good at. And that's what I think is ultimately the thing with Jello. Now he's in a position to show us, hey, I'm in shape, I'm slender. Let me show you. And what he needs to do next is get in the room with people like Rip Hamilton, like Reggie Miller, like Ray Allen. Hopefully he's recovering well from his bike accident. He needs to get around players like that who can specialize and show him how to do what it is that he does. He's a little undersized. You know who he remind me of, kind of looking at him running around? Like Eddie House. That's another player he can pattern himself after. I look at guys like Bobby Jackson, guys who did what he did, man. Those are the type of people that I want to see him try to study. Because at the end of the day, what we saw from him in the summer league is that if nothing else, he can run his butt to that corner and he's money. A lot. 5 threes. You know what I'm saying? And he did some heads up things as well. Showed us that he has a bit of passing mindset as well. So you may be surprised to find out exactly how talented young Jello is. But I won't be, because I already know. I've been known. And a lot of people who've been paying attention to their family know. It's just a matter of him believing in himself to the point of getting in shape and blocking out all the noise, just like his other brother, Zoe, needed to do. Block out the noise. Stop telling people, listening to people who don't know your game, and listen to people who don't understand you tell you about you because they hate your father and what your father's saying about you. And they hate your brother because of your father. Stop listening to them and work on your game. And that's what he's done. That's what he's done. He's gotten around the right people. I know that he was up there in Detroit last season, really working on his game, hanging out with some special coaches and people who were connecting with him on a more personal level. Because, as we remember, he had some trouble at UCLA overseas with that incident. We know about that. And I think that set back his development as a basketball player big time, because he had to leave UCLA and then had the reputation of somebody who couldn't keep it together. So it was a lot working against him, because of that decision he made to kind of act up out there. But, all in all, he's getting his opportunity. He's shaking a lot of that off. He looks like he's serious about playing the game of basketball. And like I said, I think he can turn into a player that has catch and shoot ability that can play in this league. And there's no reason why the Charlotte Hornets shouldn't continue to give him opportunities to work his way into their system, work his way into their farm club or what have you. Whatever the path to getting up there should be, he should be given those opportunities, because at the end of the day, if you're Charlotte, you want to make Melo as happy as possible. If anything, you want to make him happy as possible, because that's your bread and butter. That is your franchise. So keeping his brother in the room is a good thing. And I've always been advocating for Michael to try to get Zoe over there too, but Zoe's in a great spot in Chicago. Hopefully the tampering evidence doesn't rescind that signing, because that is actually possible. But all in all, the Ball brothers are all in the league right now, and it's exactly what their family has hoped for. It worked for a long time, so congratulations to them. All right, we'll move on to Scottie Barnes. Scottie Barnes showed me exactly what I knew was there. That this was somebody that you could put on smaller defenders, and he will take the ball from them. He has no problem keeping up with smaller players, especially if they're not overly talented. And you got him out there in a setting like that, where it's summer league and he can kind of overpower people and really show what he can do. He did it. What surprised me was how pure his three-point shot looked and how well he scored the basketball. The thing about Scottie Barnes, and the reason why a lot of people were concerned about taking him as high as he was, or on the fence about taking him at that point, more so than less than concerned, but we're just kind of wondering if that was the pick, was because he's not supposed to be able to shoot the ball. And all the good things that he does, passing, rebounding, defending, dunking. What he's not supposed to be able to do is shoot. You know, one of the first things he goes out there and does is swishes a three. If that's where this thing is headed, Scotty Barnes could be the rookie of the year. You know, that's the type of two-way talent and passing ability that we saw out there was just special as well. This is somebody who can affect life positively for the Toronto Raptors out the gate. And now, while I think the same for Cade Cunningham as well, I think that there are several players that are going to give him a run from his money in regards to rookie of the year. Several, and Scotty's definitely one of them. You know, his passing ability was on display, as I said, just diming the ball all over the place. He had a left-handed full court pass that hit his player right in the chest, right in the money. It was a beautiful off-hand pass. And this is supposed to be your power forward. This dude's special. Very, 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 very special. And as long as he's able to stretch the floor and not be a liability scoring the ball, the sky is way past his limit. The limit is way past the sky, y'all. Way past that. So I'm a big believer in Scotty Barnes, one of my favorite players in this draft, and will probably become one of my favorite players in the league very soon. So that's what I think of that player. I don't, as I say, with players in summer league, I don't really take too much of what they do in the summer league against guys who may or may not make the league as serious. I just like the sample size of what it shows me overall. But I'm not overreacting. There will be games where players don't play well at all, and we can react to those too. But when players do play well, especially out the gate, it is very, very, very exciting to see. So that's what I got for Scotty. And the third player on that list that I watched highlights of was Jalen Green. Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets. Everything he did was a highlight. Every single shot he attempted was a highlight. All of them. His footwork and step back rhythm, his step back mechanics and his step back rhythm and his ability to calculate where he is on the floor with his feet is some of the most impressive stuff I've seen out of the gate of anyone's career. His step back mechanics are just flawless. And the thing about it is, he's doing this with great defense. It wasn't like he was not, like he had a lot of wiggle room to move. The people who were guarding him, whoever that was on him, was playing some excellent defense. The problem was, it did not matter. This dude looks like a J god. And what I mean, respect to the Lord, but that's what he looks like to me. Like the type of player who, out the gate, has way beyond J ability. Fadeaway J, shooting jumper, way out of this league. Way out of what's normal for a rookie is his ability to shoot the J. I think being in the G League Ignite team gave him some poise. You saw him kind of take care of the basketball in ways that you don't really see players out the gate in their rookie season in summer league. He had a certain poise about him, a certain level of calculation about him. He knew where he was, as I said, on the floor at all times. And he just continued to hit jumper after jumper, fadeaway J, high arcing rainbow J after high arcing rainbow J. And I'm saying to myself, if he keeps shooting like this dude is going to jump into all-stars status immediately. If this is what he is, if this wasn't just a player who came out the gate on fire, but if this is actually the player that I saw, if that's who he is, he's going to be one of the premier guards, swingmen in all of basketball. Like, just simply one of the top 3 guys out the gate. He's going to be like Tracy McGrady. Because a lot of people are comparing him to these different types of guys, like these Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan guys. And to be completely honest with you, you don't have too many of those guys in this league right now. Like that particular prototype, they're not really plentiful like they used to. The Clyde Drexlers and Ray Allens, just players of that 6'6" shooting guard ilk. He is one of them, and he looks like out the gate he's about as impressive as any of them who started their careers. This dude just, if he's going to continue to play like this through the summer league, he'll probably be the MVP of the summer league. That's what I saw. That's simply what I saw. So, and I'm not the guy that's the biggest on Jalen Green. I felt like Scotty Barnes could have gone before him, and Mobley probably should have gone before him. No further than that. But that's how I had it. I had him as 4th. But I understand. From what I saw today, I understand. I already know him to be one of the more hang-timey, wiggly, and I've said that many times, players out there in terms of his athletic ability to stay in midair and create uh, in real time, contort his body, stuff like Kobe used to do, Michael used to do. He already has that ability. And you see that in highlights from last year and all of that. But what I saw today was a little different than what I saw in the highlights. What I saw today was a guy whose jump shot has improved since last year. A guy who's been working on his game as it pertains to shooting the ball and different things like that. So, he's gonna be a mess, man. He's gonna be a hard player to guard. He's gonna be able. He reminds me a little of Brandon Ingram, a little bit. He kind of has a Brandon Ingram type of vibe to his game. Um, you know, and like I said, all the typical guys that you can think of, the Kobe's, the Michaels, he looks like all of them. He does. When he shoots the ball, he looks like all of them. So, yeah, man. Yeah, all the best players, all the best young players in this league, the very, very young guys that just came into the league, Zion, Luka, Trae Young, uh, Donovan, players like that, they have some competition with this draft that just came in the league right now. They got some guys. The Cunninghams, the Greens, the Barnes, the Mobley. These guys are real guys. There are going to be some more people dishing out, some more franchises dishing out some $100 million, $200 million contracts to some of these young players out here. Because I tell you the truth. All three of the guys that I saw the highlights of today jumped off the screen. And of course, I've been watching highlights of other players too. Kuminga looked really good. Mitchell from Sacramento looks fantastic. There's a lot of guys. My Laker guys, they're doing work. I got to see some highlights from us today as well. So you're looking at a very good draft class. And I think the NBA is going to be better for it. I really do. What I saw excited the heck out of me, albeit small sample sizes, but it showed me what the type of players these players can be with the right coaching and the right conditioning. So, yeah, that's what I got, man. Hopefully, we'll continue to see good health from these guys. I don't want anybody getting hurt in a dang summer league. But all in all, man, it should be fun. Thank y'all for watching. My name is BDO44. I'm out.